Hello and welcome to the United Community Channel. My name is Jack and this is your preview for Manchester United versus Brighton in the Premier League. Massive, massive game, and one that Manchester United really do need to get all 3 points in. Plenty to talk about. Let's get right into it. So we're going to start off with the defence, and obviously Manchester United have a bit of a makeshift defence the last couple of games, given the amount of injuries that we've had. You know, we finished obviously the game against Arsenal with Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire playing at centre-back, and we don't want to have another scenario like that. Now look, we did see Lindelof come off in that game. It was down to illness rather than injury, and he did play throughout the international break as well, so he is going to be okay. There is concerns, however, over Lisandro Martinez. He did go off with an injury. He did go on international duty, however, he didn't play due to, precautionary reasons. There has been reports coming out today suggesting that he might not be available for Brighton on the weekend. We'll know more, in the coming hours or coming days up to the game. But I think it's really, really important that we do have at least Lisandro Martinez back fit, because obviously Varane is still a few weeks away. We know we've had issues at left back. Does Reguilon come in? I think Delors will probably keep his place at left back as well. He played quite well again. He was probably our man of the match against Arsenal as well. So Lisandro Martinez really does need to be fit. We really need him to be fit because our defence is so, I suppose, makeshift at the moment that we need all hands on deck as much as possible. And we're coming up against a very strong side in Brighton as well, especially on the attacking front. They're really, really impressive. So we're going to need all hands on deck. Now, another area that we're going to be looking at here is midfield and what decisions Erik ten Hag has to make before the game on Saturday. Obviously, we know Amrabat is in, he's signed. However, he was let go from international duty. Again, it said that it was precautionary due to a back injury. He's had a number of back injuries in the past, and we discussed this in our lives over the last week or so. But Erik ten Hag has a decision to make here. Does he go with Amrabat and Casemiro? Does he go with, Eriksen and Bruno Fernandes along with Casemiro? I thought our midfield played okay against Arsenal. It was an improved performance, but you're going up against a different animal, I think, in terms of Brighton. They're one of the most informed teams in the Premier League already this season. So do you go with that little bit of, I suppose, defensive prowess with Amrabat in there beside Casemiro, or do you go with the more attacking style of Christian Eriksen? We seen with Christian Eriksen against Everton how good and bad he was in the space of 90 seconds. He gave an unbelievable ball for Marcus Rashford to put us 1-0 up. And 30 seconds after the restart, he loses Odegaard and Arsenal equalise. So it's a big decision for Erik ten Hag. Obviously, I'm going to give you my predicted 11 in a moment, but let me know what you think. Who would you go with? Would you bring Amrabat straight in? We've seen with Erik ten Hag before that he tends not to put new signings into the team straight away. He likes to bed them in slowly, and maybe once they are in complete understanding of the way Erik ten Hag wants them to play and, the style of football and so on and so forth. But look, Amrabat has played for ten Hag already, so you would hope he can get up to speed a bit quicker than, different people. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Now, also, the right side of midfield, you would say, our right winger. What is Erik ten Hag going to do with this? Obviously, we know everything that's been going on with Anthony. He's not available for selection this weekend. We know that Jadon Sancho and Erik ten Hag have had a very public falling out. It seems to be repairing itself. I don't know how good that repair job is going to be, or whether Erik ten Hag will ever trust Jadon Sancho again. So there's a big decision again to be made here on the right-hand side. Do you go with somebody like Pellistri, who is an out-and-out right midfielder, you would say? Or do you maybe move the likes of a Garnacho from the left-hand side where he's more comfortable over onto the right-hand side? That is another option. We've also got an option, but this is one that I hope does not happen, is Bruno Fernandes to play on the right-hand side. I wouldn't be surprised if this happens, but I really hope it doesn't, because he's just so much more effective through the middle, and especially we've seen, his international form in the last couple of games while he's been on break. It has been really, really good. So I hope he does start Bruno Fernandes central midfield, and we go with somebody like Pellistri or like Garnacho on the right hand side. But if that is going to be the case, it's going to be an area of the field with a lack of experience, you would say. And I think the reason why I would probably lean towards Bruno Fernandes starting on the right-hand side is because of the defensive aspect of his game. He does track back a lot more, and you see that with a more experienced player. You know, they do defend a lot better. They get into defensive shape once they lose the ball, whereas you see with younger players, they tend to not keep their shape as well. You know, just kind of, I suppose the attacking side of their game is the priority. And if you're coming up against a team like Brighton, where you're going to be on the back foot for an extended period of time, you would expect throughout the game, you really do need to have your wide men putting in a good shift defensively as well. So again, let me know what you think. Who do you think would start on the right-hand side in the comment section below? But anyway, guys, let's get into the predicted 11. Now, this is the team that, I think will probably start. I hope it is the team that starts, because I think there's some good balance on it. But we'll put it up on the screen here and show you. So obviously I've gone with Andre Onana in goal, back four then of Wan-Bissaka. Delot keeps his place at left back. I think he deserves it, like I said, after his performance against Arsenal. Centre back partnership then of Lindelof and Martinez. Now again, this could easily change depending on whether Martinez is fit or not, but I do think that this is probably the strongest back four that we have currently within the Manchester United squad. Midfield three then of Casemiro, Amrabat and Bruno Fernandes. Now look, it does have Casemiro as a single pivot there, but look, obviously you would probably have Amrabat playing alongside him a lot more than you would one ahead of the other. But I do think that would be a good midfield and would give us balance going forward and both defensively as well, coming up, like I said, against a very strong side like Brighton. And our forward line then is Garnacho on the right, Rashford on the left and Rasmus Hojlund through the middle. I was very impressed with Hojlund when he came on against Arsenal the other day, albeit it was just a cameo role for about 20 minutes or so. I was really impressed with how he put himself about. His physical presence coming up against Gabriel. They had a great battle against one another. So yeah, I think he'll come straight in. I really do. He had a good break as well for his country on international duty. So I think this is our strongest 11 at the moment. Now look, I mean, there are certain things you could do. You could bring in maybe Eriksen if Amrabat wasn't to come in. Would you bring in Reguilon straight away at left back? Probably not. There's maybe an option for Pellistri to come in on the right hand side as well. Does he deserve game time? Now that he was probably third choice at right side after Sancho Anthony. Should maybe he come in? Let me know in the comment section below, like always. Now, if I'm going with a score prediction, I mean, it's a tough one because Brighton are favourites for this game. And when do you ever see Manchester United versus Brighton at home in Old Trafford and Man United not being the favourites? So, look, the bookies very rarely get it wrong. If you're going on form alone, you would say Brighton absolutely are favourites going into this game. They've had a really, really good start to the season. However, they're missing a few players. No more so than Evan Ferguson. He's out with an injury. Doesn't look like he's going to be back in time. So he is going to be, out. If I'm going with a score prediction, I'm going to go with a score prediction of 1-1. I have to say, I can't see Manchester United getting a win here. But again, I hope we can. Last season, for example, it was all doom and gloom after the first two games that we lost to Brentford and Brighton. But then we turned it around at Old Trafford against Liverpool and it kick-started our season. I hope we have a game like that on Saturday. If I'm going with my heart, I'm going with a 2-0 win to United. But if I'm going with my head, I'm going with a 1-1 draw. Again, let me know your score prediction in the comment section below, guys. I won't be doing a watch-along for the game on the weekend. Unfortunately, I won't be around for it. But obviously, I will be giving you my match reaction after the game as well. So keep an eye out for that as well. But please do hit like on the video, hit subscribe, and share it with anybody you might think would be interested in it. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers. And with your help, we can get it done. So please do hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.